Hey, what's up guys? It is DiplexHeated again, and welcome back to some more Napoleonic Total War 3 4.0. That's right, I'm coming at you with some more of these online battles, and this one is gonna be extremely interesting. I had a very good time fighting this battle out, and it's a 4-on-4 on the map Prussia 7 LOC, if I can remember everything correctly. Of course, we're not playing with the LOC objectives, we're just using the beautiful map and utilizing its just beautiful terrain here. Really well made. Now this map is a bit special because one of our four teammates were forced to spawn at the front, and I also later realized that the enemy is spawning here in these thin areas. This is literally a sea invasion. They are landing troops and they are attacking. This is somewhere in Prussia, and the teams are a bit funny because they're not entirely unrealistic. But they're a bit special, so I will introduce the enemy as soon as we can see them, because I have actually forgot one of the players' nation there, but they were all like German states, smaller German states, so it kind of made sense. I don't know what they're attacking, don't ask me. So up front, the guy to take the bashing, at least what I think, is let's see, Chrome Dark OG. He has, well, he has a lot to think of, but what he does later, you will find out. Further back here, we have Cam playing as Portugal. Interesting choice. We're playing with smaller factions this time around. I chose Italy, and Jazzman on my left here is the Kingdom of Württemberg. So let's go ahead and play. Let us set up. Right now we were just analyzing the map and we were talking in the team chat, which will not be available for us to view this time around. But you can't really cross here, so we decided we'll stick to the left, and some guy will cross at the right, and we'll merge into the center and form a battle line. We were also discussing things with the Chrome here. I'm just gonna refrain to Chrome Dark OG, yes, to Chrome. Whether he should have, like, you know, retreated or held. We were also thinking perhaps we can spawn up here. So this is also a blue spawn field, but it was a private spawn field. We couldn't actually spawn here, so, you know, bummer. We couldn't. But what he does, I think, is the smartest thing here, which will be shown later. But let's take a look at the enemy side here of things. We have obviously an area where they can spawn here, here, and here, so it's pretty much an invasion force, and they're kind of, you know, they're kind of shut in, but I believe that later on one will spawn on each flank and two in the center to kind of break out and attack this guy, because they know he's gonna be in here somewhere. Obviously Chrome could have chosen to spawn over on this side, which would have sort of shut him in quite a lot, and it would have been more a one-on-one situation, but right now he's putting himself in the center, which would allow the enemy to sort of flank him from either of these spawn positions on the side here of the center position. So let's fast forward and wait until this game comes to life. I think, looking back here, we're ready. I stuck to the left here. This is a good composition. Let's go through some of my units. It's not very difficult. I have 2 cavalry units. One here, which is a, I believe these guys are dragoons in a sense. They have rifles, carbines or carbines, so they will utilize those. And then I have another honor guard cavalry regiment here, heavy cavalry. And I'm not very cav heavy. I just use these in correlation with my infantry to see what I can do. We have 6 units of veteran line infantry. Very nice looking here in white. We have 4 units of light infantry, also very good looking, and I believe 2 units of grenadiers, and these guys are elite grenadiers. These are Velti Granatieri della Guardia Gurlami, very good looking, and a regular grenadier unit here, followed by, of course, a 6-pounder horse artillery, which is good. They're going to be quite fast. And then we have some more here on this side. This is pretty much a howitzer, 2 6-pounder batteries, and a 3-pounder little shit. Actually, that's not mine. Sorry. They look kind of Italian at first glance, But no, I thought, well, that's a lot of artillery. It's a 1 pounder, 1 7-pounder howitzer, 2 6-pounder foot artillery, and another just a little 3-pounder foot artillery as well. This one's extremely cheap, and it's good because you can like put them in between lines and, you know, maneuver him around. But they're very slow, so obviously this guy's horse artillery is going to perform a lot better. Oh, and we have started. I'll go into my allies' units as we progress. We're going to have a lot of walking to do. But take a look at the Austrians here. They've chosen to... Chrome has chosen to set down his artillery on this little sort of fortification area here. It's a good position because, truthfully, the enemy can't really cross but into here. So if we could get some guarding infantry here, that would be great. And, of course, good instinct. He's pulling his troops back in column. They're going to be marching fast. He's sending his artillery and cavalry back. While the enemy, let's see, we got Spain, Westphalia, Hanover, and Poland. I think I got them all right. So, indeed I did get them all right. Hanover and Westphalia obviously being quite close to each other. Spain down in the south, and then Poland to the east. They have lots of cavalry. The Hanoverian guy chose to spawn a lot here in the center. I think pretty much 3 players spawned here in the center, and the Polish guy to the left flank, and I can't exactly remember if anyone spawned to the right. I believe maybe just 2 or 3 units were placed there as flanking units, but I believe they were dealt with. We'll find out. Right, the cavalry was being sent out to see if they could actually catch some of these stragglers, but infantry being able to form squares, and without there being any other infantry that can support this cavalry, that wasn't gonna happen. So he's gonna zone this off. He's gonna get his arty up and running here, and he's gonna get some infantry to protect from this. Well, he's gonna protect this crossing simple as, and this artillery is gonna start shelling the cavalry landing here. And right now he's just sending his infantry back. He wants to hold this height here, which is a very good position. And also just go back to this crossing. If you can hold this crossing here, you're gonna be pretty well off. So, Chrome has gone with lots of Grenz infantry here. 3 units as far as I can spot here, and I believe a 4th one. Perhaps not a 4th one. More Grenz infantry Schützen, which I believe are slightly better than the regular Grenz infantry. And here's another Grenz infantry regiment number 6. So lots of good shooting infantry. Some grenadiers here and there, and fusiliers. Kind of a regular setup. Nice to see. As far as artillery goes, absolutely, I think just 1 unit, no, 2 units. Right, we've seen them before. And here's the Hanoverian units that were spawned on this flank. We're looking at 2 hussar regiments here coming in full speed. And, well, this is going to be pretty nasty. We got 1 regiment of Grenz infantry shooters coming in here. The howitzers have actually just unlimbered, and I right now think in chat, I was like literally, Chrome, 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 you got Cav on your back, you got Cav on your 6, he's coming in for you. And the second that happens, these guys are going to start running. So he's going to have to sacrifice some of his positioning here in order to protect his howitzer. We'll see what happens to it. They've already lost 2 men, unfortunately, here. Right, he did a great thing, you know. Tell him to go into melee and just send him elsewhere. So he's going to protect them. He's going to get his infantry lined up here safely. Right now this cav guy knows he's not going to go anywhere. But, ooh, he's going to be bold enough to try and send his cav over to get these guys. That's a very good idea. And he actually just managed to get away from them. But that volley that was managed to set up there, oh, that is nasty. Killed 17 down straight. That's damaging. These guys are gonna turn around and run. So that was quite lucky. I think it was really hairily thin there that they would have gotten through and actually killed these 6-pounders. But it would have been an eye for an eye because the infantry would have been placed here, and well, the cavalry wouldn't have been able to get through that. So he's gonna unlimber and get out of here because he realizes there's a lot of Westphalian artillery here, laying down lots of fire, big batteries. And the cavalry has moved up, gonna make way for the infantry that will slowly advance up here as well. Right, and the situation calms down a bit. But just for now, Over on my flank, I saw a Spanish guerrilla unit moving up. These guys can be deployed everywhere, or anywhere. But look at them. They're quite irregular. I know that's not an elite unit. That's a good scouting force, a good disruptive force, a good ambush force, but not much more than that. And The front takers of my force here are the cavalry. And what does cavalry like the most? Well, they like tasty little Spanish guerrillas. So I'll make sure that they get their breakfast for today. You know, Italians, they love their food. Gotta serve them some Spanish-styled food this time around. So what I was thinking is like that Austria and their Württembergian neighbor allied themselves with each other, and then Italy and Portugal came to their aid from the south to like stop this German state invasion in Prussia. Why they would go by sea, I don't know. It's like they got Poland, Spain, and everyone else to go in. But it's a cool little scenario, and I like it. Cavalry's turning back though. Kind of knew that was gonna happen. But here we have some German heavy cav dragoons. They will just really turn these hussars into crumbles, into little tiny bread crumbles. And he's finally locked this position off here. The last 8 guys or so are getting in line here to defend. He's got another Grenz infantry shooters here. Artillery, well, causing lots of damage here. We see dead bodies pretty much just everywhere. Some horses. So he's forced to pull even further back. He's got no artillery support on this side, so he's just really forced to maintain his position over here. Houses are taking shots here as well. We got some smaller Jaeger companies. Nice to see. They're tiny, but it's good to see. By the way, I thought I'd also mention that we're playing on medium funds, medium unit sizes. That's probably the most common way to go, because if you go anywhere above the medium unit sizes, the units are going to be just a little too large in order to have efficient maneuvering around the battlefield. And if you go anywhere above the medium funds with large funds, well, you're just going to be able to buy pretty much just all the elite units, and there's not going to be any like you know, unit. You're not going to have to think smart of what you buy and bring to the field. So you saw that in my first video that I pretty much had just gone full out with units, like the best infantry, some of the best cavalry and all, so that was a little bit weird. Here's the Portuguese player. He's coming in on the far flank. He's kind of spread out, but he's got a lot to cover. He's got lots of cav on the right side. Not met up with the Polish player yet. You can see him right here. Here's the Duchy of Warsaw. The general's chilling here by the road. Good looking skins. And he's also got some light infantry company here, so there might be a little bruise in there. This infantry just, I don't know if they chased them off, but they both seem to be running in opposite direction. Over here on this side, what we saw were some Gardhussars tried to sneak in past the infantry, but they were given a few too many shots there, and I really think they were going for this company here of Grenz infantry shooters. It's interesting because these guys can walk in column as well, and now they chose not to. Right, so here is the Hanoverian player. He's come in full force. I actually forgot that he did spawn here because, you know, the battlefield's, you know, shifts over time. Here's my Italian cav, just munched up these guys. Lost 1 guy in casualty. Yeah, these guys are... These guerrillas don't want to head to Europe again. They're not going to be vacating in Europe ever again, I think. And it's just taken so much time for me and Jazzman to get up here with infantry. Jazzman on the other side, going with like a pretty basic veteran line infantry, grenadiers, line infantry setup, and also a few skirmisher units here as well. Some pretty good infantry as well, the Jägergarde and Grenadiergarde. Light infantry, line infantry, basic setup. 1 artillery piece, I think that's pretty much just enough. Depends on how you play, and some more cav. Actually, 2 pieces, my bad. Garde de Corps, one of the best cavalry units in the game as well, along with a Dragoon Regiment Kronprinz. So that's going to be some good cavalry contingent here on this side. Right, so let's have a look further up. Oh, actually another one here. Leib Chevaliers, so live guard Chevaliers, you know. Yeah, and this Austrian guy is pulling out of this little peninsula here. The Hanoverian guy is obviously in superior force as he's pushing him out. So the Spanish, Westphalian, and Hanoverian player are gonna clinch in here to sort of surround the Austrian player, Chrome, and it's gonna be a little bit nasty. I feel a little bit sad for him, but we are on our way. Italy and Württemberg are supporting you, and Portugal is arriving from the right. Right, so let's take a look at the Hanoverian player. He's brought up a lot of the a lot of these gray infantry. Maybe not all the gray infantry, but I believe that there's a big contingent of something called militia, what's it called? Landwehr? Yeah, Landwehr. They're not really present here because I believe he sends most of his better units up to fight the Austrian, but his rear guard will contain a lot of Landwehr. A lot of these guys. And what I choose to do with these will be displayed later on. Here's a lost guy. Oh, I actually was walking inside another unit. That explains why he was delayed. So there's more Landwehr here. And there's some field battalion here. Field battalion Lauenberg. Looking good. I gotta say, the infantry is very impressive. And it's fun to play with the smaller states. If you guys want to see more minor states gameplay, you guys just gotta let me know. And I'll be sure to serve it to you. Okay, my light infantry's moving up. Cavalry's moving up. It's taking just so much time. I don't know why I wasn't moving these guys in column. I think I gave them a move order just a little too early to line up, but that's the case. We are moving up. Let's focus there at some of the action. This guy's just really holding the crossing with plenty of infantry. I think he could really get these guys to move over and really just secure a bigger part. But the risk of the Austrian, you know, sort of creating a bottleneck position on him in here is quite big. But then on the other hand, if he chooses to dedicate too many of his troops to this crossing here, we know that the Westphalian guy will simply move up and just really break down his flank, which isn't too strong at the moment. He has a few reserves, but he's quite spread out with the cavalry and forces he has. I guess he was forced too early on in the stages of the game. There will be some shooting here. We've got a Grentz infantry unit in the forest in a square position. I believe he felt threatened by cavalry. Not sure if that's going to happen. Over on this side, Portuguese player is lining up. He's got his artillery set down. Some of these atiradores. And it would be fun to see the Lusitanian Legion talking about him. Here they are. I believe they were in British service as well. Very cool to see. Oh man. Here we go. Here comes those Hungarians. Hungarians are running straight forward, and it looks pretty weak on this flank. We only got a Hussar unit here. These guys are going to bring them down quite heavily, and I don't even think that the Polish player is reacting to this. Taking some shots here from the company of light infantry, but it's too late. He's going to go in. One's going to deal with the cavalry unit, and one's going to deal with the light infantry. They're still running in. Can they get the skirmishers? Oh, another little spurt there, and they're chopping them down. We got more infantry units behind though, so I don't see this cavalry continuing the chase. We got squares being formed left, right, and center. They're running back. But look at this Hungarian unit. You see the artillery caught off guard here. Oh no, this is going to be a great blow here to the Spanish player. Losing one of these 12-pounder artillery pieces. Obviously here comes Cazadores running in. Like the wasps they are. They beat the Hungarian Hussars quite quickly there, who actually have been taking a few losses. But the other unit will safely move back. That was a really good trade here for the Portuguese and Austrian player. Really, that's going to aid the Portuguese quite a lot here. And the battle will continue here. There's some infantry coming in on this guy's flank. And I'm a little worried because the Polish, or the cam here, the Portuguese player is a little too widespread. And that isn't always too good. Actually, he should have perhaps focused his infantry more on the right, more in the center. But then again, on the other hand, the Polish player is quite widespread as well. But then we see that the Spanish player can actually commit some more infantry to this flank. So it's going to be pretty nasty. Over here in the center, the firefight continues. The battle is on. The lines have been formed. There's a lot of light infantry carrying out the first contact here. And we have more of this lighter infantry and line infantry in the back, simply just holding out, waiting for their time. More artillery is being sent to this flank. In fact, this guard artillery is up here. That's 40 men, four guns, horse artillery, so they're going to be damn fast. There's just a few people running, but they can take it. More cavalry on its way up here, and even a smaller contingent here. These guys are like ready to cross. They're just lined up, ready to go over. It's a bloody invasion, you know. Here's another Spanish artillery piece, another 12-pounder set, and some more grenadiers. But what I have in front of me here is pretty much just Landwehr, and this is well, these guys aren't the best. Let's just put it that way. Don't be afraid of their top hats. They're not much. Over here, I'm getting my guys into position. The Italian forces on the left here. I think I sent my cav unit this way. He should be right here. I was just gonna see if they had left any infantry or cavalry in the woods to try and flank me. That would have been actually pretty smart of him to do so. If we would have left just a couple of units there, I would have been in a shittier position, but he chose not to, so I will send that guy back, and I will form my battle lines. I'm gonna go with thicker lines this time around, because this is quite tiny, and I want to put a lot of firepower up onto the front. So thicker it is. And since he can't actually cross here, I thought, well, since he can't flank me onto the right, I'll put my 2 artillery pieces over here, and I'll just get some infantry and cavalry for the guarding section. I realized later that this is quite hazardous for my men, so I will reposition then as artillery starts falling on my head. Right, the Hanoverian guy is going for it. He's committing. They're charging over. The Westphalian guy have pushed back the Austrian enough here, and they're putting just enough pressure on the Austrian player. And right now what he really has to do is just to try and hold out until he can get the 8 he needs. This fire is in full effect. Beautiful. And they're rushing over. They're crossing! Return fire! They're lining up. This is cool. This is some major military advancements here. So I'm stuck fighting sort of like half of the Hanoverian player. Lots of the Westphalian cavalry available here, and some Spanish infantry and artillery as well. So this was quite cool. The Hanoverian artillery or cavalry goes in quite swiftly to take out the Jaegers. They were successful in doing so, and you know, all credits to them. This Austrian cav wasn't able to it wasn't just reacting in time, unfortunately. Sometimes that just happens. Going back, they're splitting up, and the Austrian player is just forced to retreat. He's got too much pressure on him. Here comes the Württembergians though. Looking pretty good, guys. They're lining up, and he has a lot of infantry coming up here in the center, and some pretty good infantry as well. Grenadiers, some veteran line infantry. So that's going to put some pressure on the Spanish player, and he's going to feel a little forced to pull back here. They're lining up here, and they're getting ready for some good field battle here on this flank as well. Ooh. Cavalry was a little too close, and they're taking fire. Over on this side, some Polish cavalry was broken. But unfortunately, it looks like the Portuguese player has a little too much infantry to deal with here. We got the entire 2 Pulk Piechoty up here against the 1st Battalion of Caçadores. Now these guys are pretty good as far as light infantry goes, but they're not going to be able to stand 3 units like this. And we have more Polish soldiers moving in on the left here. This regiment of line infantry is, well, they're caught off guard, to put it that way. And this legion of Nadivslanska is... well, they aggressively attacked this calm unit, and they were forced back. That's interesting to say the least. And we got cavalry coming in here on this side. I don't know if you realized or not. Oh, you broke him in the last second there. But unfortunately, they were targeted a little too much more to the right side, so they will be engaged there by the square. But he is going to go in for this Lancer. Oh, is he going to pull back? Oh, what happens here? Only the gods know, or Cam. I sure as hell couldn't figure out what the hell happened. Okay, so things are stabilizing here, but this unit's got no chance. And over in the center, big engagement, lots of infantry moving up, and the Württembergian soldier. I don't know what they're doing, Jazzman. I think he's sort of having the situation under control here. These are some big lines opening fire as well, so that's some good stuff. Good to see. An Hanoverian player and a Westphalian player have completely taken this. Before there used to be a bunch of Austrians here, but the Austrians have been forced to pull back quite a lot by now. Interesting to see, but it's leaving my flank, well, it's starting to leave my flank a bit vulnerable, and that's nothing we want to see, right? Over here, we have Grenadiers in a long line formation in order to sort of minimize casualties. Spread the cavalry out. My line infantry is ready. And I'm trying to get my artillery into position back here as well. This gun is slow. Slow as hell. And the mortars, or not the mortars, the howitzers are laying down some good fire as well. Just trying to pin the artillery now, suppress. How that didn't kill anyone, I don't know. But it didn't. That did, however. So I don't know why, but I was in my settings and redid some things for this before I started recording, and I think I accidentally enabled fog, and that's sort of what's creating these small tracers. It's nothing major and it's nothing annoying really, but it's something that you could be a little unused to. So here's the problem when you spread yourself out like this. You are gonna be entirely unaware of what the hell is happening on one side of your flank, and you're gonna lose your bloody cavalry and shit. Because you can't micro that well, or you can't keep an eye on everything. So, that's unfortunate. That's a bit unnecessary. More Portuguese infantry and artillery set up here. This gun isn't even firing. I don't even know what Cam is doing right now. That's a mistake. And over on this side, this unit is a lost cause, since long gone. These guys are... Well, he did the smart thing here. He charged with melee and cav. You can form a square when you're being charged by infantry. And you send in the cav to mop things up. This cannon is not doing anything. And these guys are, well, they're gonna head to a very painful destiny. Or fate. So, that's pretty much the Portuguese power onto the right flank gone. There are a few units remaining here. What this unit is doing, I don't even know. They're awfully positioned. This gun is firing, but he didn't think of the cavalry that could attack him. So, without having to say and mention more, I think it's safe to say that Cam is probably a new player to Napoleonic Total War 3 4.0, or Napoleonic Total War 3, or Napoleonic Total War overall. It doesn't matter, because everyone is welcome to play. And I hate to sound neglecting or sort of insulting when I do these commentaries, but I tend to just lay it as it is. And, you know, all new players are welcome, and I like to play with new players. So, you know, Cam, all the good luck to you. Just, you know, keep playing, get better at the game, as we all have to when we practice and play. But it's nice to see some new players in the scene. So, yeah, right. Looking over here, we got the Württembergian contingent on this little hill. His artillery... His infantry's been pulled back, sending these guys back in column as well. It's time to pull the fuck back. The invasion is... We can't push them back to the beaches now. He's sending them here. Over on this side, things are heating up. I'm going for it. I'm going up close and personal. I'm going for it. I'm leaving my artillery back here. I'm not afraid of whatever they can send up here, because I know that I got my grenadiers here. But I've taken just a lot of casualties here, unfortunately. And it's just due to some stupid shit. These guys are going to target these guys with shrapnel. It's really nice. They're actually going to do quite well.
This battle is almost done.
Don't listen to what he says, because he says random stuff all the time. But everything otherwise, it's quite good, I'd say. I don't know why I'm getting up close and personal here. A little too close and personal, perhaps. He is actually shrapneling my guys, which is horrible. And I thought, perhaps I can break them with just pure infantry fire. I later came to other senses and realized that was quite foolish. But don't worry, I'm looking forward to see this develop here. Ooh, what an explosion. I really gotta turn these fogs off, because it's like... I don't know, it's creating heat effects onto my screen down at the bottom sometimes. So this Austrian guy's gonna try and lock him off here and just make a big battle line. But he's got two players on him. Well, one entire player and then half another player. And like half another player as well. This Spanish guy could literally choose who to go for here. And since the Portuguese side has been broken, or, you know, entirely, he can kind of do what he wants to. They can kind of... The Polish guy can go full on to the Württembergian guy. So... we're in a bit of a sticky position, and I don't even know what these dragoons are doing. Like, even if you're new to the game, just, you know, like that's common sense. Dragoons aren't gonna throw their swords at them. I don't know. It's like when you're playing big games like these that take a lot of time. It's minor stuff like that can really piss you off. I don't know. Okay, so here we got another little scramble here. My honor guard, they were a little too late to get his hussars. They were just, unfortunately, just a little too late. I managed to send one of the cannons away, so I did the right thing. And I think I was going to send the other one away as well, but I think I was like lagging a bit because of the just immense action going down. So that was unfortunate. And I don't know what's going to happen to these guys as well, but I know for sure that I will have...
Our men are running, sir.
Wait, was that both? I swear I had one remaining. Oh, well, then one unit's got to return then at least. That's how it's got to be. Over here in the center, I did some crazy shit. I sent my dragoons in to try and break his artillery because I knew I can't be up with this guy toe-to-toe like this and fight him. I can't be up toe-to-toe with this guy and fight him like this. So I gotta go in and show his boss here. I gotta go in belly, you know, bayonets first. I gotta break him. We gotta break him. I knew for fact that these guys, right now it says winning slightly. Don't ask me why. But when these guys get to shooting, it changes quickly. Get my lines up and going like this, and I realize now that that's Landwehr. This is some shit stuff. I got line veterans and even some elite infantry, like these grenadiers here in the center. That's gonna be efficient, dude. That's gonna be efficient. All right, so yeah, one artillery section did return, which I knew of, and now I could send these guys back because I knew there wasn't gonna be any more cav back here. My howitzers are doing fine. I don't know if I forgot these guys, but I guess I told them to move now. Never too late. And this artillery unit isn't being used anymore because it was too close for comfort, so we sent it back. So I guess that was kind of worth it, neutralizing that. Now I know that I can just really just outplay this guy as far as shooting goes and just use my infantry at my advantage. We did have another unit of artillery right there who was probably firing shrapnel into us. So I decided to re-maneuver a bit here. Go to the sides and force him in here on this side. Gonna try keep an eye on this and what happens here. Right here it's all quiet. Half the Hanoverian player and like half the... pretty much in the entire Westphalian player, there's just a few units up there. Lined up here up against the Austrian, who also has to deal with a bit of the Spanish, which is unfortunate. Württembergian player lined up and really laying down some good fire. Fortunately, he's not hitting a lot because these are light infantry skirmishers. So the kill rate isn't going to be great there. These guys are lined up and ready to receive the Polish and Spanish player. The Portuguese player is just pretty much gone, dead and gone. There's just a few troops back here. I don't know if they came back after routing or if they actually broke the enemy. I don't think the latter happened. And there's just another cavalry unit here. I don't actually know if Cam like quit or whatever, but if he would have quit, the AI would have probably taken over and done something. So I am really not sure what was going on there. But you know, practice makes straight. So keep playing. And over here, my 6-pounders are going to lay down some... well, they have been laying down some pretty fearful fire here. You can see they killed a lot of guys, but they're going to continue doing that. That was quite cool. Right now, I had pretty much lost all my cav. I just had these guys remaining, which were pretty shit. But I didn't go with a lot of cav anyway, so all my cav isn't a lot of cav, putting it that way. I had more infantry. And I was thinking to myself, like, he's got cav, he's got artillery, he's got infantry up at the front. Like, shit, I want to get close up and personal because I have the infantry superiority here. I have more troops. I just got to really commit and I got to do it right. If this fucks up, my entire line will break. And I got to be careful as far as squaring goes and, you know, dealing with all that. So right here I was given a few lucky shots. Pretty much just at his cav here. That was pretty nice. Didn't kill a lot. It would have killed a lot close up and personal, but it didn't. Shells are hitting, not really killing anything. These guys are actually shooting at my artillery piece. He's not actually using shrapnel. I don't think I realized that until a lot later. Over here, the battle is in its full swing. I think the Austrian has a superior position on this Hanoverian and Westphalian guy because he's sort of he's got the, I don't know what this is called. I used to watch a lot of StarCraft and it was called something, but he's got the, you know, when you sort of sphere him in, surround him. He's got the surround, I guess. It's not really the other way around. He's the C bending over the O. So that's good. I know I could maneuver myself quite freely on this flank because I don't have to be afraid of my lead flying. And my guys will ultimately just crush these Zenobran soldiers here. Right, it was time to move up. We're just gonna try and get closer around him here. Here's a Spanish cavalry unit. They came from back here. I don't know if they were hiding and waiting for a good position, but my poor howitzers, their time was over. I didn't see this coming at all. I don't know how many they killed or how effective they were, but adios amigos.
Our men are running.
I'm sorry, I should have done better controlling you guys. So this is interesting. This is quite split now. But my cannon's up. We're just doing good. I'm gonna send them even further up. I'm like, yeah, you're gonna go here. My infantry's gonna move up. Everyone's gonna move up. That looked painful. That actually killed quite a few. Oh! Back on your feet, guys. So these are his better troops. I mean, 5th Field Battalion, 3rd, 4th, you know. This is Landwehr, so I was like, fuck it. Let's go. His artillery's facing elsewhere. If he's going to use the shrapnel, which I actually all the way thought he was doing, because without the fog that I have enabled now, you can't really see the particles. You can't really see what they're firing. So I thought, like, hey, he's firing fucking shrapnel at me. Goodbye, cannon. I'm sorry. I left you guys alone. I have to get up here. You lost your horses and shit a little too early, so I couldn't maneuver you with me. Otherwise, I would have. I'm sorry, guys. I really am. That was a bit of a cock up. But you know, Italian honor for the glory. Charge. We're heading in, and here's where things got a little complicated because he's got lots of cav, and you know these guys won't be able to form a square because my guys will be busy meleeing them. So that's one unit down there. This unit's charging onto the flank of this one, and this is also just Landwehr. But this is the issue here. When the cavalry comes, I'm like trying to get my guys out of there, and I'm like, you know, form square, form square. And I had the availability to form square, so that's 2 down for them. I had the availability to actually form square, and I did several times, but you double tap it and it like goes out of the square formation that you ordered them to get in, which was really annoying because stuff like that shouldn't happen. It's kind of like a 2-2 right now. You know, it's an eye for an eye. Generally, I don't like to think that that's the way you win battles. You really don't. But over this side, had a bit more luck. The Landwehr is just forced here, and I got my elite grenadiers and a line infantry unit, so these guys won't stand for long. I'm actually surprised they were lasting more than like 30 seconds. So that's really impressive. They're gone. He's charging up in here. I don't know why I charged this unit up. Perhaps I should have waited because they're going to be surrounded by cav.
Our men are running, sir.
Squares remain. He also broke one of his guard Asar units there. There was barely anyone remaining in the unit. And here he accidentally charged his unit into my square. I think he was sending them elsewhere to go, you know, link up with this cavalry here. But that didn't happen. And over here, I'm going to completely outwit the Spanish player. He thinks I'm all busy looking at things over here. While I am, I have a very good... Thing is, when you focus your units like this instead of spreading them out like the Portuguese player, you can really just... You can just sit like this and have full control of the situation. So, the attack wasn't working out as well as I had planned. Of course, I have routed a few. Obviously, a few of mine have routed as well. Many will return, though, as you will probably come to see later. He's like, oh, I'm going to be smart. I'm going to attack this guy. Yeah. He's like, hey, I'm going to attack you in line infantry. Nope, you're not. I'm going to form square into your face. But he's going to be quick to react, though. So, you know, kudos. Might even get a few shots off if we're lucky. No. I don't even know if they were on fire at will or not. What they were, I don't know. This Landwehr unit broke. This guy... I was like screaming at because these grenadiers, I were telling them like form square, and like half of the time they could, and I click it twice and it goes into square and then they go out of square, and then I lay down a volley and pretty much probably just break them through my own shooting. My general ran up. He was really excited over things. I don't know what was going on, but yeah, it looks more grim than it is because I am actually sort of on a good way to where I want to be right now. These guys are fighting back here, and the Austrian cav actually picked him off quite nicely. So that's 3 units broken on my side here. 1, 2, 3, and even more. 4. There's more. They left elsewhere. But that aside, it doesn't really quite matter. Austrian player doing quite good here. Broke a couple. These guys are turning back. This Cav broke off a unit of Bohemian Fusiliers here, and he thinks his Grenadiers could actually break the Cav without a square. Possibly, since their morale is kind of like dwindling, but I don't know if that was going to happen. Let's focus on my flank. Right now, I feel so bad for this guy. My light infantry were really the heroes of this battle. They've been doing great. And right now, the remainders of these guys, they're going to crumble down. This is going to be a quick maneuver. Things I could have done a lot better in this battle. We'll probably like use my cavalry and artillery a bit better. I paid more attention to that. It's hard when you have you're being flanked by several other players, but you know, that's the genius of this game. That's another one down, and we're just gonna move in closer. It's a little bit horrifying for the Hanoverian troops here. Why they're holding this instead of this crossing, I don't know. But that's just the cycle of this battle. And I would have also probably used artillery up further close here. But as you can see, there's a lot of gray uniforms around here. Quite a lot of white one as well. But as far as shooting goes, it's clear that they've taken the majority of the casualties here. Third Field Battalion going down as well, and it's only a matter of seconds until the 4th one will turn around. Wave their white hats and run. So by this time I had pretty much taken out what, 3/4 of the Hanoverian player, or maybe 3/5 perhaps, and quite a bit of the Westphalian guy as well. At least whatever he had placed here, some cavalry and artillery. So I was like, alright, kudos. I still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 units remaining. So that's half my army for like 20 units. That's it's pretty good. I was pretty pleased with that. Obviously, the majority actually broke here kind of towards the end. So positioning is key, my friends. And if you're wanting to get into the NTW 4.0 scene, just learn from the replays. And you know, it doesn't really quite play out as the casual Napoleon Total War. Napoleon Total War, the vanilla is an amazing base game. I mean, they couldn't have made this mod without the amazing game that is from the start. But there's a lot of things different. This is more slow paced, more based on like morale and maneuvering than just like pure volleys to break down the enemy numbers, which is also a good way to win battles. But in this they put the focus on an entirely different thing. Oh man, they just diced them up like frickin' pancetta. Okay. Right, this looked pretty good for the Austrian guy. I mean, in like a matter of seconds, there was a big melee engagement here with cavalry, squares, all kinds of things. And it looks like they got the better of the Austrian player, and good 4 or 5 units broke instantly. Should I say 5, 6 units broke instantly. So that's unfortunate. The Württembergian player, obviously, he's in a good position. He's got artillery on the hill, and he's got himself fairly well set up as far as flanking goes. He's got 4 units here to deal with some of the Polish. He's got Grenadier Guard, Line Infantry, Light Infantry, and Jaeger Guard up against some veteran Line Infantry, some skirmishers, some Grenadiers, and part of the Tupul Piochoty. So the Tupul Piochoty is better than just your average Line Infantry unit, but it's not elite, definitely not. It's just more of a special unit, a unique unit. It's like, you know, the 33rd and 27th will be better than your 2nd Battalion and foot, but they're not going to be up there with the Grenadier Guards or you know, the 92nd and 42nd. Right, so I was pretty much I was pretty happy with the way this was looking right now. I was like, you know the Hanoverian and Westphalian guy are kind of weak. Question is, can the Württembergian player hold against 2? Or like, yeah, pretty much 2 players. Spanish and Polish, they're pretty much in full force. Although the Württembergian players as well, but I was like, can he actually hold against 2? That was the key. Because I knew for a fact that if he could, for time being, I could mop this all up, kill the remainders right here, and get into the back of the Spanish line. Time is at the essence, lads. Time is at the essence. I was quite pleased with my achievement. I thought that was hell of a glorious charge. We lost a few, but I thought that was just a manly thing to do. And I don't really need to feel macho majority of the time, because I'm sat here playing games. It's not about doing that. But I felt like, you know, Cold Steel, we'll break their Orient, we'll kill them by the dawn. Steve Cogan. We'll kill them here. And we did. We broke him. It was good. You were only supposed to blow the bloody doors open. And right now we're laying down some more fire. I love seeing the red like this, and I know for sure the enemy is like, fuck, my guys are red. That sucks. Well, red is part of their flag as well, mine too, but you know. There we go. They're down. Good volley there from the regiment. This is really nice. This is a cool position. Truth be told, I think the Württembergians he's not utilizing, but these guys are down in the firefight. These aren't. But then again, he's sort of like, you know, the Spanish guy has so many troops, he's got reserves. The Madrid Volunteers and the Grenadiers of Agrupados. So, he affords reserves. That's quite privileged. And these guys are just sat here firing. Artillery is obviously opening up on both sides. It's really nice that they're using this cliff here. Right. Hanoverian player, pretty much KIA. This is where it gets tricky. Why? Alright, he killed a couple of his own, I guess. But that's why. Or yeah, he hit the horses probably. That's what made the awful sound. Made like a really bad sound, like killing a pig. And right. I was like, shit. I actually just saw these guys come out, and I hadn't realized it because they were like hidden for the time being. When they come over this hill and into the forest, they come into the line of sight of my troops. And we got Legio 3 units of Nadivslanska Legion, and I believe they're like, yeah, they're like semi-elite units. After that first volley, I was like, shit. I only really lost 1 or 2 guys though, so that was a bit of a surprise as far as that goes. And they're being pulled back. So right here is where I guess this is, yeah, looking pretty grim. I mean, I'm trying to push my way up here, and I really did targeted fire on this artillery piece because before they unlimber, I really wanted to try and break them, but I just knew my distance. I'm just too far out. Ich bin too far out. And I believe they've implemented a system where units behind another unit actually won't fire. So there will seldomly be team kills. Over here, the Austrian guy is going in for the remainders of this general staff. I don't know if I don't think he wanted the general target. Unfortunately, got caught up with them, and now he is being split in half with the Cazadores and the Garde du Corps. Very good unit, but I believe that the Saxon Garde du Corps is better. You know, pretty good. The artillery is actually laying down some good fire on the volunteers here. If I were the Württembergian player, I would have been like, fuck it, let's go up close and personal. He got lots of skirmishers here. So do I, kind of in the flanks. It's kind of even as far as that goes. But the question is if these grenadiers and veteran line infantry could actually get the better of these volunteers. Then again, his flank here is pretty good with his Guardia Valona, Valonian Guard, and Agrupadan grenadiers, or whatever you want to call them. And he was forced into a position that I was kind of splitting it like this. Obviously, this is a 2-1-2 situation, so we could do the better here. He's actually got some elite infantry as well, so he could have broken them, but they're kind of far away now. So let's just focus on this. I totally get his thinking here, and it was pretty good. These guys are getting around. Over here, I'm split. I hate this. This is shit. And they're just closing in on me. These are like fresh units as well. Well, not fresh, but they look pretty tidy. They look pretty compact. Looks like they can actually pack a punch. And the problem is, they're light infantry. I have light infantry too, but not anywhere near as many as he has on this flank. My other 2 units are bound up here fighting the... there's just too many Napoleonic troops here. That's insane. I'm starting to wonder if these are actually like regulars, or if they are any better. He's charging into my flank here, form square, and then he charges in. So that's a smart thing. I'm gonna remain in the square, but I'm also gonna be forced to brace his attack here, and I'm charging in. Nah, it all came down really quickly here. Surely they will break my light infantry. I believe that when you charge a square like that, you have like a pretty good charge bonus. My guys didn't have that. They were on the receiving end. And now I knew, oh, these guys won't be able to form square. Now we're anywhere close. We just gotta leg it and run. So, the battle is coming to an end. The Württembergian player is doing quite nice, but he's just gonna have too many troops on him soon. He's doing a fairly good job on this side as well. But they're resorting to melee now. These grenadiers are breaking down his grenadiers. And with the addition of more infantry, that's going to boost the morale and lower his. Nice stuff there with the cavalry. Broke down some skirmishes, I believe. They came in from the back. Killed the volunteers as well. That's some good stuff. So yeah, maybe it's not really game over for the Württembergian player here. I tend to say Württemberg, although it's Barry, Württemberg. Anyway, Berg. I guess, you know, in English, Berg, you know, it's not necessarily with the U. Burg. I don't know if you even know what I'm into here. So right now he's got me into a pretty shitty position. I mean, this is like proper shitty, because I'm in one line against another line, and I have a little piece of artillery here that's trying to do something. And this Polish guy is gonna be like, yeah, well, we're gonna utilize this. Obviously, he's in a pretty shit position. Let's just send my guys up. I'd rather fight one at a time like this and save some time, or try and save some time. Obviously, that's too late now. Then, like, spread it myself out in 2 lines to fight like that. Sending in his cavalry here as well. They're gonna go in for a melee charge, I'm pretty sure. But so am I. I was like, light infantry up against light infantry? Let's see who has the best. Right now I got the charge bonus on him. That's gonna do a lot of spooky things to his morale. I formed a square right here. My general was kind of in the way. He just got away, barely. Oh god. And then I sent my half-assed infantry in, which really is... These Italians have seen better days. Yeah. You know, I knew we couldn't win this battle, so. Bit of a little thing there at the end. And here's my general, he's just going to be placed in between, and my last 2 units will fight to the death. And yeah, kudos to all the players. A good game. We were up against a lot of Grognard players. 3 of them were Grenards and 1 was called Microon, I believe. Or Micro 1, Microon. So I believe they had communications on their side. I wasn't really playing with anyone I knew, so we were just using team chat as well as we could, and it kind of worked out. It was better than nothing. So overall, it seems like the Spanish players in all right days. They have a couple of units remaining. The Westphalian guy is also in an alright situation. The Hanoverian guy is entirely wiped out, but the Polish guy seems to be in the best position here as far as infantry strength goes. Then on the other hand, the Polish guy was just fighting the Portuguese guy, and the Portuguese player was utterly wiped out quite quickly and early in the game. So that kind of resorted to the Polish player having just the majority of troops at his disposal later on. So overall, quite pleased with my performance. I thought it was good. Did all right. I believe I brought down more than I had in my capacity. I could be wrong though, you know. But we're gonna take a look at the score screen after this, once everyone's pulled back. 12-pounder. I don't know what they're doing if they're trying to head back to their guns. If you can catch a player off guard, then good. So, other than that, our team was pretty well composed. Chrome, Jasmine, and myself clearly knew how to play it. But you know, when 25% of the team is inferior, it's gonna be kind of unmatched. But you know, it could have been the enemy team as well. It could, you know, a player on their side could have been equally unsharpened, so to speak. So, but it's nothing you complain about by the end. Really, you just have a good game, and you just, you know, you do your best, because really, some really good players. Oh, and I crashed. Well, you know what? I guess we can end the battle with that. We're not going to look at the score screen, but I do have a screenshot of it, and it's going to show up right now. Thank you guys for watching. As you can tell, I killed quite a couple. Lost quite a couple as well. You can see how many troops we deployed and how it looked. Yeah, right. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the game, and I will see you in more upcoming battles. So get the mod, download, play, practice online, do a lot of 1v1s. 1v1s is really good because you can always utilize, you know, the 1v1 technique onto bigger battles, and do your team proud. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys soon again. Bye.